Set up your mic, you loser. Oh, why is mine on? Set up your mic.
Jeffrey's tall, yo. What?
You're not Jeffrey.
Weird.
Just kidding. This is Cal.
Howdy.
Obviously, I'm Nate. This is Cal, our
producer,
as it were.
as it were,
As it were.
as it be.
As it be. Jeffrey is hunting a bow and an arrow on his I don't know where he went. He told me. I completely forgot where he went. All I know is he was going an hour and a half away, and now it takes him 3 hours to get there because of the fires in Colorado. So today we're going to talk about the NFL and the NBA, obviously. That's usually what we talk about. And we're also, because Cal knows almost nothing
Almost nothing
about sports.
Esports.
We're going to talk about a little bit of esports. What kind of... it's kind of a newish thing. I know it's not like new.
It is not new.
Okay. But
Call of Duty League's been around for a long time.
Okay.
League of Legends has also been around for a long time.
Yes, but in the sports world,
Consider it a sport?
yes, considering it a sport
Yeah, I guess that's
is a new concept. So a lot of people that are trying to get into sports and because of betting and stuff. That's a big draw. Betting is a big draw to sports lately.
Betting is a big deal. I'll give you that.
So, therefore, people can now bet on esports, so it's a little more legitimate now. It helps. Anyway.
Was that like a law that was passed or something?
I think it was a year or two ago. The Supreme Court said
You can now
betting's
bet on
fine.
esports.
No, you can really
Or
bet.
just bet on sports.
They just
in
legalized betting everywhere, like or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. No idea.
Don't listen to us.
Yeah. However, we are going to talk about some esports, trying to educate ourselves a little bit, and we might let him rant about something he cares about, because he's a little like me and wants to start ranting and yelling and screaming at things.
There's nothing to yell and scream about right now. Well, except for Soul. Beside the point.
We'll get there. But wait, there's
there's.
Okay, anyway. The first thing we're going to talk about is the NFL and what happened. First, I think I'm going to talk a little. I'm going to go through week one, kind of recap what happened, where I was completely wrong on so many levels.
Predictions?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jeffery and I watched football on Sunday. It was a good time. However, I was realizing how wrong I was.
Who even played?
So I want to go through that. So
Okay.
the Seahawks played the Falcons. The Seahawks beat them 38-25. Kind of figured the Seahawks would
Did
win
you
that
watch that game?
No, I didn't watch that game. But I figured the Seahawks would win that one. Russell Wilson was insane, as usual.
Okay.
Don't know how he does not. He's never had an MVP vote.
Really? Not even one?
He's never had a first place MVP vote ever in his career. Russell Wilson.
Well, I've heard that name, so I assume that's
There you go.
I assume that means he's good.
Yes. That's craziness. That's almost like the fact that LeBron doesn't win MVP every year. We'll also get to that because Giannis won the MVP. And I don't want to talk about it. Well, I do want to talk about it because
LeBron James.
Yeah. The Patriots beat the Dolphins. That was a little bit of a surprise to me because I didn't think the Patriots would have their stuff together.
Who do they have as a quarterback now?
Cam Newton.
Oh, he's supposed to be pretty good, isn't he? Like,
I mean, they're using him the way Cam Newton is supposed to be used.
which is?
Let him run, let him throw.
Oh, okay.
Like
just
a little bit
let
of
him be a
50-50.
quarterback?
Yeah, let him be himself. Well, a lot of people get mad about Cam Newton. They're like, he needs to sit in the pocket. He's going to get hurt. And the Patriots are like, we have him for 1 year. We'll just use him the way he's supposed to be used.
Okay.
Who cares?
Honestly, that's fair.
They're keeping it simple, stupid. Like, if you actually think about it.
Did you actually think the Dolphins were going to beat the Patriots, regardless of who their quarterback was?
Yeah, shout out to Jeff Ramus. Explain that one to me, how your team lost to the Patriots in week one. You lost to the
You
Patriots.
actually thought the Dolphins were going to beat the
Yes.
Patriots.
Okay, Patriots have a new quarterback. They had like 9 defensive.
When was the last time the Dolphins were good?
Hold on. It doesn't matter. Patriots have a new quarterback.
Okay, right.
A type of quarterback they've never used before. They don't really have good offensive weapons.
Right.
And they had like 9 players opt out on defense due to
9 players.
Due to COVID.
That's a lot of people.
Yes.
Oh, my.
So, like.
Yeah, but, okay, they've got all that going against them. What's the Dolphins have for them?
Well, last year they played really hard. They were supposed to be tanking and losing every game, and they played really hard and actually won some games. So I figured this year they'd be a little bit better.
They're going to lose?
I think they're actually supposed to be better this year, which they might still be better this year. They just lost the first game.
Okay. Intimidated by the Patriots?
I didn't think it was weird because also the Patriots are not good in September.
Right. You always say that they're bad at the beginning and then get really good at the end.
Yeah, because
they don't care.
Well, they do care. They don't want to show everything. They're just really smart compared to the rest of us. Anyhow.
Weird.
The Cowboys played the Rams. That went exactly the way I thought it would.
You thought the Rams were going to win?
Yes, by like 3-ish points.
Oh, okay. Good prediction.
It was a good prediction. Should have bet on it. I'm trying to get my betting stuff together. I really want to start betting on games and not players. I don't think I'm very good at betting on players. I have a cool betting story in a little bit after this. The Jets played the Bills. I thought the Jets could be, tolerable this year, but apparently not. That's not going to happen.
The Bills beat them. Oof.
Well, the Bills are pretty good.
Are they?
Yeah. I didn't think they'd be as good. I don't know. It was the first game of the season, so we're going to try not to overreact, but the Bills were rough.
First game,
First game. Better be good.
Is this the only games that have been played 1 week?
Yeah, I'm just talking about week 1.
I didn't know if there was 2 weeks.
And then later we'll go through the week 2 schedule. I was just kind of recapping last week. Okay. The Bears beat the Lions in a crazy way. The Lions dropped a touchdown pass in the end zone as pretty much as time. Well, they had one more play afterwards. But then the game was over. Yeah, big oof. Well, on top of that, the Bears were down by like 3 touchdowns, and they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Lions gonna Lions.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah. Packers played the Vikings. Honestly, I thought they'd be more competitive. Aaron Rodgers apparently has a chip on his shoulder this year and wants to prove everybody wrong.
Still playing for them?
Yes.
He's ancient.
Not yet. Drew Brees and Tom Brady are ancient.
I love how it just says Washington.
Washington football team played the Eagles. Eagles were dominating. Were blowing out Washington and found a way to botch that.
Gave up on the second half.
A lot of people are starting to criticize Carson Wentz.
Is he their quarterback?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate because I really like Carson Wentz. I don't think he's as bad as he played in the second half of that game. Raiders played the Panthers. They both scored 30 points. They didn't win by a lot. That made sense.
Okay.
Colts lost to the Jaguars. Completely shocked by that. I thought the Colts were going to crush the Jaguars because the Jaguars are apparently trying to tank. So
why? So that they can get better picks next year?
So they can get Trevor Lawrence. I'm on the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon.
Okay.
The Browns played the Ravens. Browns have a new quarterback or a new coach, and their quarterback is Baker Mayfield. They lost to the Ravens 38-6. Not really shocked there.
It's the Browns.
Well, and the Ravens. Yeah, it's the Browns, and the Ravens are on a mission to win it all.
Win?
Yeah. Chargers played the Bengals. That was a snoozer. That's as much as I'm going to say.
That's a snoozer. Oh, the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers with Tom Brady. Let me down. I thought they were going to
I would rather have the Saints win, though, despite Tom Brady. I mean, I like Tom Brady, right? Because he's cool and you know his name. But, it's the Saints, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the Saints are just an iconically cool team. Despite how
they're
good
iconically
they are.
bad.
Yeah, that's true.
You've grown up in the years where the Saints have been iconically good because of Drew Brees.
Right, but either way, they're just like a team worth rooting for over all the bad teams, i.e. Browns, Buccaneers, Jaguars, Lions.
There's a little bit of a
Bengals.
Soft spot in my heart for the Saints because
do they still have Drew Brees?
Yeah. I don't remember which year of Madden it is, but Drew Brees is on the front of it, and I would always play Jeffery as that team, and I would just crush him.
I don't remember.
No matter what team Jeffery used.
Was that 5?
I think it's like 8 or even
No,
10.
8 has a Steelers on it.
8 or 10. Look it up. The Madden with Drew Brees on the front. Then the Cardinals played the Niners. That was a shock. I thought the Cardinals would be good, but not that good. That was crazy.
Cardinals, how much they beat them by?
4.
Oh, and the Niners lost?
Yeah.
Dang.
Steelers played the Giants. Yeah. Whatever. Titans beat the Broncos. That was boring. All right. So that's pretty much what happened last week. Kind of botched some of this. My bad. This week, the Browns played the Bengals. So we started that off in week 2. The only thing I really took away from that was it's sad for the Browns. The Browns played well, did a good job.
11.
Madden 11?
Mm-hmm.
That was PlayStation 2, Madden 11.
PlayStation.
Yeah, no,
No,
it
you're
was
right.
on the PlayStation 2.
Because 12 was the
With our
last.
crappy box TV.
Yeah, 12 was one of the last ones that they made for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Jeez, PlayStation 2. 12. Wow. Continue, sorry.
Okay. Bengals played the Browns, like I was saying. Unfortunately for the Browns, even though they played well, my only real takeaway from that whole thing was Joe Burrow was awesome. They lost, which they should lose. Their team is garbage, and the Browns have a bunch of good pieces. But really all I took away from that was like, yeah, the Browns still, their quarterback's still not great. But Joe Burrow, that's a real quarterback. And
Joe Burrow.
I think he's going to do well. He was 37 for 60. He threw 61 passes, completed 37 of them, 316 yards with 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
He's a rookie. That's his second game with no preseason.
He didn't play in the preseason?
There was no preseason.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they had the coronavirus, so they barely got to practice.
Rona. That's impressive.
I know. I'm impressed. I'm like,
It's
wow.
The angles, though.
I don't like the fact that people are comparing him to like, Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Like those are like 3 of the top 5 ever to play. Shut up.
that's a list.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. All right. So that's what happened there. I think I'm going to take a break from the NFL, talk a little NBA. And then later on, we'll go through the NFL schedule for next week and see what's going on. Let's see here. What happened this week? Well, let's start with the boring news. The Miami and Boston started playing each other, and Miami's up 2-0. I still feel like that could go 6 or 7 games. We're going to find out. I know Miami. Everyone's on the Miami bandwagon. They're going to crush everybody. They're 10-1 in the playoffs. Last one game.
The Miami or Boston?
Miami.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
And that's a lot of games.
I really like Jimmy Butler. That's really the only reason for me to watch that. And Jason Tatum and all the Celtics. I think the country is rooting for Boston to win because they want Boston Lakers, and that is an iconic matchup. And that'll
Boston Lakers is an iconic matchup.
Yeah, they made a 7-part documentary about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Apparently it's iconic.
Yes. It's iconic. It's amazing. It's fun. Yeah.
But I mean, how much fun would Denver, Miami be? I have no clue.
If Denver plays Miami in the NBA playoffs or finals, NBA will be on red alert like nobody's watching. Ratings tank. Nobody watches Denver. Sorry. And Miami is cool, but not really. Nobody got to watch Miami during the regular season. Nobody cared, even though they're really good. And that happens sometimes, just with teams. The only reason anybody really talked about Miami before was because of LeBron and D Wade, and neither one of those guys are there. And as much as I love Jimmy Butler, he is not amazing enough. He doesn't have enough star power to make people want to watch. I'm going to watch Jimmy Butler tonight. Whatever. But I think the craziest news of the week was Denver in Game 7 beat the Clippers. When everyone picked the Clippers and the Lakers to play each other in the Western Conference Finals, Denver did something historical.
And beat somebody.
Not only did they come back down 3-1 in the series to Utah and win.
Reverse
They
sweep.
did it again and beat the Clippers after being down 3-1.
Reverse
Never
sweep.
happened twice in a playoff series ever to come back from 2 different 3-1s. No team's ever done that.
Well, so Denver deserves the finals.
No, they don't. They just don't start playing until they're losing 3-1. It's kind of like you and racquetball.
Mood.
You don't start playing until you're
Mood.
losing by like 10
You gotta
points.
be losing.
You gotta be losing for me to care.
Yeah, exactly.
That was crazy. Paul George made some really stupid comments saying, I don't think it was championship or bust this year, which is insane to me. Clippers are just going to be the Clippers. It's kind of like the Browns to me. You know, the Browns, no matter how many good players they have, they're still the Browns. And you know what? The Clippers are still the Clippers. That's what I have. It's just crazy to me. But then last night, the Lakers dominated the Nuggets. Part of it is because I think the Lakers, I can't take too much from the game. The Lakers had like a week off, and Denver had like 2 days off, 2 to 3 days off. So Denver could just be tired. Obviously, we can't just ride off the Denver Nuggets if they go down 3-1 either. Because
Apparently not.
Apparently they
That'd
win
be
4.
quite the storyline, though. If every single game to get to the finals, they're
They're
back
down
from
3-1.
3-1.
That would be.
That'd be quite the story.
Nobody would watch, but that'd still be crazy.
That'd be, yeah.
I expect the Lakers to win this.
What do you think the score is going to be then? 4-1, maybe 4-2 then?
Yeah, 4-1-2. Gentleman sweep or
Yeah,
6
okay.
games. 6 games is a pretty good series.
Right.
And I think it's going to be Miami and Lakers. I think the world is rooting for Lakers and Boston.
So Boston have to come back 2 down.
Yeah.
Do you think they can do it?
Is
Is it like reasonable that they do it, or is it going to be like a feat if they do this because of how good Miami is?
It's really hard to win 4 games in a row.
Do you
Or
think
4 out of the next? I don't know.
5?
Yeah, 4 out of the next. Yeah, 5. That'd be really hard.
Especially since it looks like Miami's got the momentum, as it were, behind them.
Yes.
That's a big thing.
No.
It's a big deal.
That is a huge
Especially
deal.
in best of anything.
Jimmy Butler didn't even bring his family to the bubble. They had the option to let your family members come to the NBA bubble. Jimmy
Okay.
Butler was like, no, this is a business trip. Here to take care of business. I was all like,
That's
Jimmy
terrifying.
Butler.
Yeah.
I love Jimmy Butler.
all right.
Dude. That guy, he can't shoot 3-pointers to save his life in the regular season. He shoots like 24% in the regular season from
that
3.
bad?
That's horrible.
Okay.
From
just
3
making
point,
sure.
you want to shoot about 40% from the 3-point
Okay.
line.
Right.
That's like acceptable.
That makes sense. Right.
I mean, I think that's supposedly really good, but I don't know, 35%, 40%.
Okay.
Can live with that. In the playoffs, he's shooting like 54%
Oh,
from 3.
that's-
From 3.
That's impressive.
Yeah, no.
That's a lot
Like,
of 3-pointers.
they're calling him like playoff Jimmy or something.
Playoff Jimmy. He's
Playoff
like Prophet. Freaking loser. You would know who Prophet is.
What?
Prophet is a DPS player who was for the London Spitfire. Now he plays for the Soul. And he does not play well in the regular season, but then any playoff scenario, he does really well. Which is really frustrating because he would be like up there for the GOAT of Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
With,
But he doesn't.
but he doesn't do well in the regular season, so nobody can take him seriously until the playoffs.
So he's like playoff Rondo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Never
It's-
plays.
He doesn't
terrible.
He's
garbage.
not that good until the playoffs.
Shows up in the playoffs and like, oh, playoff Rondo.
In fact, his whole team's that way. They're a frustrating team. They're one of the only teams to have a map record set on them, and on the same weekend, they set a map record on another team.
So that just makes me think of the Clippers. I think that's part of the reason the Clippers lost is because they didn't take the regular season seriously. A lot of people just sat out, rested, blah, 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 get ready for the playoffs. Got to the playoffs, and during the regular season, they just turn it on and turn it off. You know, be really good, really bad, like not care,
They
whatever.
just don't care.
And then in the playoffs, I think even when they tried to turn it on, they were used to turning it off and on, and they couldn't
They're
just,
just not
leave
gonna
it
be able to
on.
keep it on.
Just leave it on.
Regular season matters.
Regular season does matter.
Especially for your fans.
Apparently, the Lakers are proving that, and so are the Denver Nuggets. Both those teams did well in the regular season. Denver's a 3 seed. Lakers are a 1 seed.
What's going to be the best finals out of all 4 of them? Who's going to put up the best finals?
Lakers and Boston.
That'd be the best finals to watch.
Yeah, because Boston plays really good defense. Lakers are not a good 3-point shooting team. So if the Clippers are playing good defense on the Lakers and can't shoot threes,
right?
That's going to be good.
It's a good game.
I know Lakers are really long and big, and they got these.
But if it was like Lakers, Miami, or Denver, Boston,
Lakers, Miami, I feel like Miami would get a gentleman's sweep. I don't feel like
you don't feel like it'd be a good.
They
game
would play
if
really
else
good
played?
defense, but I don't. I also think the Lakers are really good on defense,
Right.
which Miami's not a juggernaut on offense, so it kind of it'd
Right.
still be good. It'd be a good 5 or 6 game series. I feel like Boston could go 7.
Boston could go 7.
Yeah, and I feel like Denver and Miami are kind of on the same page to me.
Okay. But if Denver and Miami played, it'd be like a good game though, like good
I
series.
think if Denver and Miami played,
It'd be
either
entertaining
one
to watch at
team would
least.
just sweep the other team, or it'd go 7.
Okay.
One of the two. It
in
wouldn't.
between.
Yeah, there'd be no in between. Kind of Boston and Denver would be about the same to me too.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you want the Lakers there?
You want Lakers and you want Boston for a good game.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Miami's a great story,
Yeah, they doing well.
but guess what?
The Denver storyline though.
The Denver storyline's
It's like
pretty good.
Washington, except whatever.
You know what the Denver storyline actually reminds me of? If
What?
anybody from Colorado remembers, I don't know what year it was, when the Rockies started going to the playoffs and they called it Rocktober.
Rocktober.
You remember that?
No.
They-
What year was that?
You should look up what year did Rocktober start for the Rockies. The Rockies were just like a so-so regular season team, like good but not great. I mean, Denver's way better. The Nuggets are way better regular season team. But then they got to the playoffs and they somehow won all these games against all these really good teams. Rockies weren't supposed to do well. They went like, I think at one point there was a 24 inning game with the Rockies. It was just crazy. And the Rockies somehow got
2007.
to the World Championship.
Because of their unbelievable streak in 2007, 21 of 22 leading to the World Series, because they were motivated by the firing of Clint Hurdle in early 2009. It covered up the real problems the Rockies face. Yeah, so 2007.
Yeah. Anyway, the Rockies just like won a bunch of games against all these really good teams, weren't supposed to get to the World Championship, got there, and then got crushed. That's kind of how I feel about Denver right now.
That was like the Broncos that one year with the first time they went to the
Oh, and they played the Seahawks?
yeah, and got like
Where they had no
60-0.
defense. That Denver team had no defense. It was all offense. All these offensive records. I think Peyton Manning threw for like 55 touchdowns. It was insane. And
They
that
went
was
like
the most
55-0.
Yeah, that was the most depressing
So sad.
Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Oh, that was so sad.
Whether you're a Broncos fan or not, that was just
That
boring.
was so sad to watch.
The Seahawks just crushed them.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah. So that's what happened there. Yeah, no. I'm hoping Lakers Boston.
Because that'd be the best game.
That'd be the best series, yes. Denver,
Series.
I think Denver will win a game.
At least one.
At least 1 or 2.
Maybe 2, if they're
Yeah.
lucky.
But hey, I could be wrong.
True.
And that's what sports is all about. All right. We got one more really stupid NBA topic.
What's wrong with Greek Freak?
Okay. One of the things that motivated LeBron James last night, he said in an interview, was that he only got 16 out of 100 first place votes for MVP.
He got 16 out of 100.
Yes.
How many are in the MVP? All of them? Every player? How many?
No,
how
not
many,
all of them.
How many are in that category that you can vote for?
No, I mean, like, there's 100 people voting for
Right.
MVP.
Uh-huh.
He only got 16 votes, and Giannis got the rest.
The rest of them.
Yes.
So okay.
Apparently LeBron was pissed.
So the way that MVP works for this is it
I don't know. It's a bunch of 16.
That's not good. 16, poor. It is.
That's why LeBron was mad.
Is it the way that? So the way that it works for Overwatch is they get candidates based on
There's candidates.
performance,
Yeah.
and then it goes down to voting.
Yeah,
So is that how that works, or is it just like any player? What a loser! Is it just like any player can?
I don't know. I've never voted for MVP, so I don't really know.
Okay,
But it's that's called failing.
That's so bad.
Um,
Is it because it's like a same thing like Peyton Manning, where it's like he's so good and he's been so good for so long? That
and like
nobody
Tom
likes
Brady.
him?
Yeah, it's like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Well, a lot of
Peyton
people.
Manning, Tom Brady, where it's like he's just so good and has been for so
Yes,
long that nobody likes him.
Part of the problem is sports MVPs have turned into which guy had a great season.
Not like who
Not
actually was
who's
the most
actually
valuable.
the most valuable. Russell Wilson, the most valuable quarterback in the league by far.
Okay,
You know why?
because he does
Patrick
everything for his team.
Patrick Mahomes is great, right? His team is also great.
Right.
So even if he plays badly, there's still a chance they're going to win. Russell Wilson plays badly. Seahawks are done. Done. Don't win a game. Russell Wilson gets hurt. I doubt they ever win another game.
Ow.
That's called
LeSean
valuable.
Brahms.
That's valuable.
Brown James.
Yeah, that's valuable. Same in the NBA, right?
Okay.
Okay, Steph Curry
Okay.
gets hurt on the Golden
Curry.
State,
Okay.
right? They win some games. They're still really good, but I mean that's pretty valuable.
But they're not going to be as good as they would be with him.
Okay. Yes. All right. So anyway, NBA. LeBron,
Okay.
without LeBron on the Lakers, they don't make it to the playoffs.
Okay.
Okay. LeBron can shoot threes. He can
Right.
shoot free throws.
Right.
He can dunk. He can distribute.
He's good.
He is great at all. He is at least pretty good at everything.
What's your opinion on the Loveland Indians changing their mascot? What they changed it to? I don't actually know. Somebody told me, but I don't actually know what they changed it to.
Okay. We're talking about important things.
Right.
Right. And so LeBron can do all those things, right?
Okay.
Okay. Steph Curry, same thing. Can dish, can shoot threes, can shoot free throws. Shooting free throws and threes are very important. Threes,
Okay.
they get you back in the game super quick if you can make 2,
Right.
3 in a row. You make free throws, that's how you close out a game. That's how you create points. You're down by a few points. You just need to get a bucket to make everyone feel better.
Right.
You go get fouled, you make 2 buckets. Right? Towards the end of the game, you're leading. You get fouled. You have to make your free throws to put you out of reach.
So
of
you're
them
saying
being-
LeBron James is the reason they actually win any of their games?
Right. Steph Curry, LeBron James, they can do that. Kevin Durant can do all those things. He's not a very good passer, but he can do all those
But
things.
he can do all those things. So
Right.
what's wrong with Greek Freak winning?
Greek Freak can't shoot a 3 and he can't shoot a free throw. You cannot be the most valuable player and not do the two of the most important
I agree
things.
with that, though.
No.
Because while I don't know a whole lot about sports, you cannot score points and still be one of the most valuable players on your team.
Yes, but he cannot He cannot create people open. LeBron James creates people open. You know how they play defense on Giannis?
Right.
Okay, he's going to drive to the basket.
Okay.
Everybody just stay on your guy, and the person under the basket guarding Giannis just kind of like try not to foul him. He's either going to miss or he's going to kick it out to somebody that's open. But if you're covering everybody, they're all not open.
So he has to drive it.
So he has to drive and he has to shoot no matter what. Dunk the
Okay.
ball. That's not valuable. Giannis off the floor for the Bucks. Okay, this is a great example. The one game the Bucks beat Miami,
Okay.
Giannis was hurt in the fourth quarter and couldn't play.
Okay.
Your team is good enough to beat other playoff teams without you. You're not as valuable as people make you out to be.
All right.
that
See,
fair?
that makes sense. Yeah. If you're like, see, that's a hard
Okay,
topic
think of it this
because,
way.
Because if you think about it like this, it's like you are the most valuable player and you're the reason your team is winning, right? And if you're the reason your entire team is winning, like, I'm trying to think of a great example for any Overwatch team. Profit for the Soul Dynasty, right? The guy I was talking about earlier. He is 90% of the time the reason. Birdering for the Gladiators. I'm so glad they're out. If you're that, doesn't make you MVP.
Right.
It means you're good, and
Right.
it also means
No,
you're the only reason on the
Giannis
team. But that
is
also could
amazing.
just mean your team is bad.
No.
Like, if your
Giannis-
entire team is good, okay,
Right.
so, like, this would be striker for the San Francisco Shock. Entire team, stacked, loaded. Great. Every single one of their players, top-tier players. His knees will give out soon.
No, they won't. He spends $1.5 million a year on his body.
That is a lot. Right? Okay, striker, and yet his team is so good, and he still puts up ridiculous numbers on his characters.
Okay.
Right? I don't know anything about LeBron James' team, so he could be just putting up ridiculous numbers, and the only reason they win because the rest of his teammates are just not good. Like, he doesn't have any good teammates on him. So if he had a good team around him, he wouldn't be putting up the ridiculous numbers he is. He wouldn't look as good as he is, if that makes sense.
See, I've also watched LeBron James.
Cheating with money.
I've also watched LeBron James play with really bad teams and drag them to the playoffs.
Right. That was decay for the Washington Justice. Beside the point.
So if he's off, you're like a 0-win team.
Right. But if you took LeBron James and you put him on a team like literally the best team you could create in your own head with every player you could ever, like, the best at every spot, would he still be putting up these ridiculous numbers?
Yes.
Or would he just be like, he's good, he's there, he's a good part of this team, but he's not, like, pivotal because we have so many other good players?
So that's the way Golden State would play LeBron James. LeBron James on his team would have some good players, and then Golden State had 4 All-Stars. And that's the only way they could beat LeBron James.
It's because they had so many other good players.
Yes. You have to stack your team to beat LeBron.
Have you guys considered making a TikTok? I think it would be
I don't
fun.
really want China to spy on me, so not particularly.
China.
Because it comes from China.
And it's getting deleted still.
Is it really?
Yeah, they TikTok actually declined the offer Microsoft made to buy it.
Oh.
And so they have until the end of the month for GoChat, I think is the app. I don't remember what app it is, but it's for this worldwide chat app that everybody uses for, like, missionaries and stuff like that to talk to, like, the United States. And that app and TikTok have, like, a certain amount of time before they're taken. I think Monday is actually when they're off the App Store.
So download TikTok now.
Yeah, I guess.
WeChat.
That's what it's called. That app.
You know what? Instagram came out that Reels thing, and I heard that's like basically TikTok, so it's kind of stupid now.
Man, well, that happens.
Instagram, Facebook.
Everything's going to have it. Just watch the compilations on YouTube.
Dun.
It's way more entertaining that way anyway.
True, just like Vines.
Oh, yeah.
I miss Vine. Anyway, we're talking about sports.
Sorry. Continue.
Anyway, my whole point was Greek Freak should not win MVP. And the MVP should have gone to LeBron. Giannis, you had a great season. You played amazing. But until you can bring your team back from losing, shooting threes and free throws, you're not as valuable as people make you out to be.
Yeah, I still think I agree with that. What a Greek Freak. He's the player that...
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the Greek Freak. Beside the point, I think...
He's a super nice guy, too. If you listen to him talk, he is like, oh, my gosh. You'd love to hang out with him. He seems super nice.
It just feels... I don't know a whole lot about basketball, so I don't know if this is true. But it just feels like even if you're good enough to... English? Even if you're good enough to drag your team through everything because your team is bad, doesn't make me feel like you should be MVP because of that. Put that player on a good team with a lot of good players, and if they still are doing that kind of performance, able to carry their team.
LeBron has done that.
LeBron's done. Okay, that makes sense. But, like, if
Anthony
that's
Davis,
the only reason
Anthony Davis
putting
is
him
on
behind-
his team, and he still puts up big numbers.
Right.
Big rebounding numbers, big point numbers.
Right.
And Anthony Davis is, I think, him and LeBron were both voted onto the NBA first team.
Okay.
All NBA first team for the year. So
That makes sense.
And he has really good players on his team. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying I think the Lakers are a weird team in the way they're put together. If you actually like have followed basketball for a while. So it would not be a great team. They would make it to the playoffs, but they wouldn't win anything.
Without LeBron.
You have LeBron on the team. They did amazing in the regular season. They're doing great in the playoffs.
Right.
The only time they've been bad is when they first started in the bubble. They didn't play well in the bubble. I think they went like 3-5.
Oof. What's the bubble?
The NBA bubble. They're all playing in Orlando right now.
Okay.
Right. So you can't leave.
You can't leave the bubble.
And they get tested all the time. And this is
Rona.
weird. Yeah, the Rona. So yeah, that was my beef of the week.
Beef of the week. Make
Should
a
be a
segment.
thing.
Beef of the week.
Beef
I
of the
like
week.
it.
My beef of the week is with Giannis.
Giannis.
Or whoever votes for MVP. What the heck?
Giannis.
Can we have two? All right. You know what? I am proposing a new trophy, not the MVP, because we have tarnished the MVP. What we should do is leave the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
You will make it a little M, a giant V, and a little P. Okay, MVP. You know, we'll make that.
Okay.
And then
MVP.
yeah, valuable. We'll put the word valuable.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll have greatest. And we'll have player with the best regular season, best regular season player. Those should be two different things because they're not the same.
Right.
Giannis, you're the greatest. You did great regular
Had a great
season.
season.
You had a great regular season. Good for you.
Like Charles Chuck Cooper.
But you are not the MVP.
I don't know who that is.
James Harden shouldn't have won an MVP. Russell Westbrook shouldn't have won an MVP. It's just true.
It's just the way it is.
Just spitting facts, man.
That's the same thing with like, okay, Overwatch. This
Mm-hmm.
is the only thing I have to reference it to is they have MVP
Mhm.
and they have Rookie of the Year. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Can you win Rookie of the
you
Year
can get
and
both.
MVP? Ooh,
If you get MVP and you're a rookie, you pretty much automatically get Rookie of the Year.
well, that
right?
would make sense.
So Jonak, 2018, he was a rookie that year. Pretty much everyone was a rookie that year, basically, though.
That's not fair.
Oh, a lot of people were because it was the first real season of it. Anyway, but Jonak put up insane numbers on that flex support, and he won both Rookie of the Year and MVP, right? Because of how insane he was. 2018, who was it? It was Sinatra. Sinatra won it. Giannis Antetokounmpo MVP. Giannis, sorry, it's the G.
Yeah, the G.
What a name. I know. But okay, Sinatra 2019, he won MVP. Who got the whole runaway team, which was Vancouver Titans, were all they were all rookies.
You're going to have to explain this all again here in a few minutes.
Yeah, I know. They were all rookies. And so if you didn't vote for one of them for Rookie of the Year, you pretty much were an idiot and never watched any of the seasons. Because of how good the team was. I don't even remember who won it. I think it was Hacksaw. I don't remember.
Okay.
This year was Fleta. And his team is insane. Stacked. Every single one of their players on their team, amazing. Fearless, great storyline, too, with his entire character. 2018, he was on the Shanghai Dragons. Their team went 0-40. They didn't win a single game, 2018. Yeah. He got... no one signed him for 2019, Fearless, as a main tank. He played in Contenders, which is pretty much like college to NFL. This year, he is the best main tank. He is one of the biggest reasons they're doing so well. The first MVP was Bob Pettit. I don't know how to say that, but okay. Right? Cool. Lip, insane. Fleta, insane character. Li Zhanggan, he's also great. I don't remember who their flex support is. I don't know. Their team is stacked. Fleta still got MVP because he still is that amazing. They have a whole thing called the Fleta deadlift, is what it's called.
Weird.
If you're the reason your team won, based on insane numbers that he's putting up, like he gets this. It was 2019 that he got. They made an award for a game for characters based off of how well he did one game. They call it the Fleta deadlift.
Wow.
Because he put up insane numbers. Like every map that they played, he got 80% of the eliminations.
That's crazy.
80% of the kills.
That's crazy.
He was the reason they won those games. And so they call it the flooded deadlift.
Okay, you will have your moment.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. But some weirdo from Canada named Nash won this award. Lame.
Steve Nash.
Nate's right. Nate's right about what?
Okay. Anyway, we're going to move on to the NFL. back to the NFL. And we're going to discuss these upcoming games, what I think is going to happen, kind of try to predict. It's not going to work out.
No,
But
it's
I'm
not.
going to try.
Never does.
And then we'll come back to
Ruining
you.
the MVP. It's ruined.
All right. So, obviously, we had the Bengals and the Browns played. Now it's time to talk about the games for Sunday. Giants and Bears. Bears
Giants.
are going to destroy them. I hope.
Imagine.
Falcons and Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to have... I don't trust the Falcons. They just break everyone's heart all the time.
Okay,
You
fair
know,
enough.
They get up like 28-3 and then lose.
Oh my goodness. That was depressing.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm looking
Bears. You voted for Cowboys.
All right.
Okay. Lions, Packers.
at you. Lions and Packers. Well, if
The
Aaron
Packers
Rodgers
should win.
goes 32 for 44, 364 yards and 4 touchdowns again,
Packers should win that one.
Lions should lose. Lions are going to lose. That's just
That's just the way
I don't
it is.
trust the Lions. They're just not good.
They never have been.
People all year have been like, oh, look out for the Lions. They're going to be so good. Yeah, okay.
I go with the best mascot. Yeah, Lions are going to lose.
Vikings and Colts are going to play.
You missed one.
I did?
Jaguars, Titans.
Jaguars and Titans. My bad. Jaguars and Titans are going to play.
Titans. I take Titans.
Yeah, Titans better win that. Jaguars had a weird week. Gardner Minshew
Vikings.
missed one pass.
Wow.
He's 19 for 20.
That's impressive. Titans. That's not how you spell Titans.
Titans?
Titans?
Vikings and Colts. I think the Colts better win that, but they're both like their
Mid-range
quarterbacks.
teams.
Yeah, they're both like their quarterbacks. Yeah, but the team's really good, Good
Okay.
roster, quarterback. They go as their quarterback goes. Bills and Dolphins.
That's like the toilet bowl. That's
The
not.
Bills made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's the
Oh,
Bills.
it's the Bills. Yeah, they're like I don't know. The
That
Bills
is
are the
not
team that
interesting.
if they went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row
Yeah.
and lost them all, you wouldn't be shocked. Oh wait,
Yeah.
you guys did
Go
that.
Browns.
Anyway,
Browns.
Bills
That
and
team's
Dolphins.
depressing.
Yeah, Browns are garbage, dumpster fire. They're gonna be 8-8.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, but
That's average.
with the talent that they have,
They should be better.
yeah. But it's the Browns, so we got
Niners should blow out the Jets.
Yeah. Niners are going to have a redemption week, blow out the Jets. Rams and Eagles. I think that could be a good game.
that'd be a fun one to watch.
But I think the Rams are going to win.
You think the Rams are going to beat the Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Broncos and Steelers. I think the Broncos are going to lose. However, Drew Lock could just all of a sudden decide to play amazing and carry the team.
All of a sudden, be good.
I mean, he's decent.
Rams. I'm a Ram. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like the Steelers are very up and down. They remind me a lot of the Clippers.
They just back and forth.
Yeah, so they could just drop this one.
Technically an Aggie, but still a Ram. Okay.
What?
It's a animal thing.
Okay. Panthers and
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. Buccaneers are going to pick up their first win.
You think so?
They better pick up their first win. They're favored by 8.5 points.
Okay.
Washington versus the Cardinals. Arizona is favored by 7 points. Washington is going to lose. Chiefs and Chargers. Kansas City's supposed to win by at least 9 points.
Yeah, Chargers aren't going to beat
Yeah,
them.
that's a blowout. Ravens and Texans. Baltimore's supposed to win by 7 points. Man, talk about a sham schedule. The Texans have to start off the year playing the Chiefs,
Okay.
who won
Lost.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then the second week, they got to play the Ravens,
They're
who
also gonna
potentially could go 16-0 this year. There's a lot of talk of them going 16-0.
beat- That's so hard to do.
Yes.
And carry that through playoffs.
Yes.
Just as in general. I want the Texans to win. I don't like the Ravens. That's just personal preference, though. I know nothing about it.
Let's see. What's the next one?
Patriots, Seahawks.
Patriots and Seahawks.
Do you think the Patriots
Seattle's
are gonna
supposed
do
to
it?
win by about 4 points.
So it'll be a close one.
That'll be a good game. That'll be the game to watch.
Shout out to Mrs. C.
Yeah, Mrs. C can chat.
I like the
Saints.
Patriots. Yeah, well, they don't have their gun. They're missing their cannon.
Saints versus the Raiders. New Orleans is favored by 6. That makes sense because you know what? Saints could go to the Super Bowl and win it.
I hope so. I like the Saints.
That's really weird.
I don't know why.
I just Colorado and you're like a Saints guy.
I don't know why. I just like the Saints. I have no reason to like them.
It's so weird.
I have no reasons to like the Saints.
I'm really tired. I've only had like 1 cup of coffee today. I keep stretching.
I drank all the other stuff.
I know you drank.
Why? I don't know why I like the Saints. It's just like something. Is it their mascot? No, it's just something about them. It's just like a team to root for.
Every time I hear Saints, have you seen Kingdom of Heaven?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it made you watch it.
Watched
It always just makes me think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but like, no, I don't think it's them. It just they feel like a team to root for. They're like
It's like Drew Brees doesn't get the okay. This I agree with you. People like to put Aaron Rodgers above Drew Brees, and so I start to
underdog thing.
And I start to go, you know what? Drew Brees really is better than Aaron Rodgers, and he has been his whole career. So let's stop disrespecting Drew Brees. Let Drew Brees. Let him win another Super Bowl.
Let him win another.
So that we can just stop one.
He's won
so
one.
remember, he beat Peyton Manning.
Oh, I didn't.
In the Super Bowl.
What team was Peyton on that team?
The Colts.
The Colts. Okay.
I think it was close to one of the last years he played for them. But I remember watching that Super Bowl. I was like, Drew Brees needs to win another one.
Yeah, but I don't know. The Saints just feel like a team to root for. They just feel like.
And the last 3 years, they've lost a botched plays, last second plays.
I think we should go
the
back
Minnesota
to
Miracle.
mud fields to play football, make it more entertaining. That would.
My favorite meme is
I
the
don't
one
know.
where they say, "You know what? To hell with it. Let's just give all the athletes drugs. They can all take steroids, make them all
Let's
legal.
see what the
and
most-
let's see how high people can jump.
Let's just see how good a human being can do something.
Yeah,
Just pump them full of all.
yeah.
all the
They'll
drugs
all
we
just
can.
have 5-year careers and they'll be over.
Let's do it. Yeah, I think there should be a section in the Olympics for all the druggies, right? Right.
Cool.
So it'd be like world record, and then world record with drugs.
World record on drugs.
On drugs, right? Just to see the.
You just
the
see them get
difference.
up there instead of lifting. They got the salt.
Yeah.
They
just actually take drugs.
Lift instead of be okay.
They're just snorting coke. Your knees go up fast. Well, okay. The funny thing about the running world records, only 2 of them, top 10 world records for running, have ever been set by people without doing any drugs.
Wow.
One of them was some American, and the other one is Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Hussein Bolt.
Sounds illegal. It would be.
Leona.
Usain Bolt.
How do you not know who that
I don't know, dude.
is? Okay. Anyway, we only got 13 minutes left, so all right. We're gonna get educated about esports.
Educated educator.
Educated.
Some Americans. Sorry. Why would I know
Stupid
that?
Americans. Some nerve catching.
No, Usain Bolt's not American.
No, he's not. He's Jamaican.
You're Jamaican.
All right, Cal.
What do you want to know?
First things first. Esports.
Esports.
What would you say, in your opinion?
Is an esport?
Yeah. What is an esport?
Okay. So there's the actual. In my personal opinion, what makes it an actual esport would be if there is a big company. It's like an actual league is set up. Okay. So Call of Duty World League. That one's very established, been around for a long time.
Take drug tests beforehand.
No, but there are all sorts of things. Esports is like a weird kids in the basement. No, okay. Call of Duty, that has an esports.
Okay.
Overwatch has an esport.
Okay.
League of Legends has an esport. Valorant, the new game, doesn't have an esport. They do tournaments and stuff like that, but it's not established as an esport, right? There's no rules on anything. People just get contracts and stuff like that.
So not covered by ESPN or something.
Right, nobody.
Takes them seriously.
No, they take it seriously as a thing,
So-
but it's not there's no championship at the end.
I guess my question is,
There's no playoffs,
which
there's no
ones are
championship.
taken the most seriously?
The most seriously, League of Legends is
So the
one of the up
esport
there's.
League of Legends.
Yep.
is
Call of
taken
Duty.
seriously.
Call of Duty is taken seriously.
Call of Duty is taken seriously.
Overwatch.
And Overwatch is taken
Those
seriously.
are the top 3 right at the moment
the
that are
top
off
3.
my head.
Are there any up and coming ones?
Valorant's up and coming. They have There is, but see, the thing with like esports is there's tons and buckets and buckets and buckets of companies that do playoffs or tournaments, weekend tournaments for like Apex Legends, Fortnite, Warzone, things like that, and even like YouTubers and stuff. They also put on like
yes, but I'm talking about the ones where, hey, afterwards ESPN is gonna hey,
this is a
how
real
did you
thing.
do? What do you think of that moment? Like 5 minutes into the game,
Right,
blah
like that
blah blah.
was yeah.
And you get paid a bunch of money.
Go
and you
Washington Justice. Screw the Washington Justice.
wait, hey, stay on track.
I'm glad they're out. Thank you.
Anyway,
I've never liked
Yeah.
Philly, but thank you, Philly, for knocking them out.
Anyway.
They did not deserve to go to top 4.
so, like, do they get paid for winning?
Yes. So there's I think it's
Do they have a salary?
500,000. Yeah, you get contracts and you
Okay.
get paid so much.
And then you win a
And
pot.
so they do, depending on the year you're talking about, like this year because of COVID and everything like that, they did weekend tournaments with all the players, and like the best team would get paid a certain amount, and then they get wins on top of it.
So all these have like a regular season, and then a
Right.
playoffs.
So yeah, so the way like the other one that's as an established esport. You're wrong, Washington. The thing that has an established, the other is CS:GO. That's the other really big one too, actually. And they all have either tournaments on weekends, an established regular season, and then playoffs at the end, and they do some kind of championship or something like that, depending on which one it is. Like the Dallas, what's their name? Envy is the organization that owns the team. I don't remember. Dallas won Call of Duty this year.
Okay.
They also won the Rocket League one. Rocket League's actually got a pretty big following, pretty big esport there too. But I don't really follow. Well, I would be in the league of Among Us. Okay, sure. There is no league for Among Us, but whatever. But Call of Duty's over. I'm glad because I don't follow it, and everyone follows it way closer than I do, and so I don't know what you're talking about.
Which one do you think is the most followed?
CS:GO, easily.
Okay.
League of Legends is probably really close, and then Call of Duty's right there, just because it is Call of Duty. You know, people love watching Call of Duty play because it's actually kind of insane to watch people do things that you never would have thought possible in a game. Overwatch, I think next year will be a lot bigger than it's ever been, just because it's in every esport. The first few years always have asterisks next to them because they're like just getting established. The level of play isn't high enough for us to care.
Right.
So it's none of it's taken super seriously. And so a lot of people are saying the next year for Overwatch is going to be the first year because it's new, right?
Okay.
And the same with like League of Legends, the first 4 years all have asterisks next to them, pretty much saying none of the records for this actually matter because the metas weren't established, the actual rules of play weren't completely established, stuff like that.
Okay.
Valorant's up and coming. It's like CS:GO if you added Overwatch abilities into it. And it's like a big thing with streamers and stuff like that. But I also think nobody cares anymore because it was like the new shiny game. But now it's like, unless you're into esports, nobody watches it.
So the one probably most people are in are Call of Duty and Overwatch.
Overwatch is pretty big, yeah. But Overwatch is big because of like storylines and like they enjoy the people more than the actual game, and vice versa for Call of Duty.
Oh, that true for Call of Duty too?
Call of Duty, people don't really care about the actual players unless you're like a figure for the game, which there's a couple players that are, but people like watching Call of Duty because it's fun to watch people.
Well, that's
do
why we
really
watch
well.
sports, is because we like to watch the people also. Like
Right.
NBA players, you get to wear their shoes, you can buy their jerseys. Like NFL players,
And
you
that's-
can buy
that's
their
why-
jerseys. You can like
That's why
buy
like
their products.
Overwatch is such a big thing, is because people love the players, because people love interacting with them on Twitter,
Exactly.
watching their content, you know, because they all stream and they all have content on YouTube and stuff like that, and so that's why people watch Overwatch.
Right.
Call of Duty, it's more like, unless you know a player, you watch it because it's really fun to watch somebody be good at Call of Duty. That's called capitalism.
Yes.
Yes, it is. So it depends on
Right.
which
So
esport.
people like there's more of a story to it. Like Denver coming 3-1. That's a good story.
So like, okay, the good story.
LeBron James could win his third championship on his third team. That's a
Right.
good story.
Fearless coming back from 0-40 his first year, having going back to contenders his second year, and then coming back and being easily one of the best main tanks, if not the best Winston we have this year next to Sato.
So it's a good story.
Yeah. Washington Justice, I will say it was a fun story to watch, and I'm glad they knocked out all the teams that nobody cares about. Gladiators, Valiant. Nobody cares about any of those teams, and I'm glad Washington kicked them out. In fact, actually,
So what are the Patriots or the Chiefs
So-
of Overwatch?
right now, that's the thing. The year it hasn't been long enough for like dynasties to be established.
Right, but
San Francisco right now is the current like dynasty, like the team to beat
Okay.
because
So they don't win every year, but if you beat them, that's amazing.
right. And so it's like a big upset if you beat them, right?
Right.
Because
So, like, when people
they won
become-
everything last year.
Right.
They only lost one of the tournaments where they got to the finals, but they lost.
Okay.
This year's they've only lost one of the tournaments, won everything else. They're super good. Yeah, San Francisco is fun team to watch, great team. So we're on the final four. Okay,
See, yeah, they're fun. They're great. Do they have people you like?
they have great players. On's actual freak on sniping,
See, there you go.
actual striker. I would say he's the best tracer up there. But then you have Shax, who is okay. So like the average in the league for eliminations per 10 for tracer players is around 10. So like some players are 9.2, 9.3. That's what it is. Shax, he's putting up 12.
Okay.
So he's putting up way more. He's insane on that tracer. He's not playing anymore because he's not in the top 4. We're in the playoffs right now, okay? We're down to the 4.
Okay, so what are the 4 teams right now?
So we have Seoul Dynasty. We got San Francisco Shock, Shanghai Dragons, and then Philadelphia Fusion.
Okay.
The only team in there, if we fast forwarded 3 weeks, yeah, Striker. If we fast forwarded 3 weeks and somebody told me who won, I wouldn't be surprised by any of those teams except for Seoul. Seoul would be the only team where I'd be like, I'm a little surprised that who'd they beat? I'd actually be curious because it's double eliminations is what it is how the bracket works.
Okay.
So the 2 teams that lose play each other, and then whoever loses that is out. So then there's 3, and then whoever loses the next out of the main plays the loser who won. And so the idea is you get the best 2 teams at the end.
Right. So they don't. Okay.
So it's not like best of 1 or anything like that. It's a lot of Asians. Yeah.
It's not a best
Koreans.
of 7.
They are best of 7 series though.
All right.
Is what they are.
So you're definitely going to get the best teams.
Yeah, so
No
you
matter
have
what.
best of 7s and you've got 5 games to be played over a weekend.
So it's hard to win if you're just like on a hot streak.
Yeah, you can get that's what Washington did off of because of COVID there was a rule that allows you to pick up a player if you didn't have a full roster. They technically had a full roster. They could field a full team, but because they didn't have 12 like the league requires, they were able to pick up Decay, who this is like stars and moons aligning for the Washington Justice. Like there is no way anyone could have ever predicted this to ever happen. Decay had to lose his contract with the Dallas Fuel.
Okay.
The rule had to be invented because of COVID. And then they had to put out a patch that no one would have guessed Hog Zarya would have been the 2 main tanks to be played, which has never happened before because it's a really weird composition. All for this to happen so that they could be good. Decay got picked up by the Washington Justice. He is the type of player that they actually called it giving him the LeBron James treatment or the Michael Jordan treatment, depending on who you're talking to. Because they're like, we don't care about the rest of the team. Keep him alive. Do whatever it takes to keep him alive. And he won them 7 games in a row.
Wow. That's crazy.
7. Yeah. Finally, Philly decided to just be like, yeah, I'm over this, and knocked him out because they couldn't beat an actual real team. They had to beat everybody that's bad. But it's still insane because they beat the LA Valiant, who could have been in their best meta. They beat Mayhem, which, despite them having a good record, it was just them beating up on bad teams. They didn't actually do well. They were not a good team, despite what everybody thinks. Sorry, Logix, you're a good player, but the rest of your team, no. I'm sorry, you just don't have it.
All right. Nice little esports segment that we had there with Cal. He's clearly passionate about the Overwatch.
Nobody else
League.
talks to me about it.
Nobody else talks to him about the Overwatch League. Maybe we can add in some other stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Not on Saturdays. We don't have enough time for that. But
I want Shanghai to get to the finals. They better.
We'll bug you every once in a while.
San Francisco better win too.
Yeah, Jeffrey and I just need to come out with more videos so people watch more.
Probably.
That's okay. So, anyway, that was...
Esports, it in the game because it lame. Oof.
Shh. That hurts. Anyway, well, that was fun. Next week, Jeffrey should be back. We should have a good time. Cal, the producer, is going to go shut us off because he's the producer and he wanted to sit around and talk about esports for a little bit, so that's what we did. Don't forget, have fun. Yeah, enjoy the week. Football. Yeah. See you guys.